You really fucked up. You've said something you really regret, or you did something that you wish you didn't do. It is often very hard to admit we're wrong and say we're sorry. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a few tips on how you can authentically apologize and build even deeper connection. All right, so it happens to all of us. You know, every now and then we're gonna screw up. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. And when we do, the important thing is that we say we're sorry. Saying sorry can be pretty hard to do. I can speak from previous experiences where I have really avoided having to apologize to someone because of that icky, awkward feeling that we often experience when it's time to tell someone that we screwed up, and that feeling of shame, that feeling of guilt, or even embarrassment that comes up really stops us from saying what needs to be said. So I want to share with you a few tips on how you can apologize to whoever it is that you've offended, and not only have them understand and possibly forgive you, but also develop a deeper connection and build a stronger relationship. First and foremost, it's important that you give a real apology. And what I mean by a real apology isn't, yeah, you know, I'm really sorry, but I didn't mean it, or I'm really sorry, and you know, I did that because of whatever. No. When you're going to apologize, it's very important that you take full ownership for what it is that you're apologizing for, and not try to justify it, not try to give any excuses or reasons as to why you did it. Give a straight up apology and take ownership and state what it is that you did. Nick, I'm really sorry that I said something about you that offended you. I know what I said wasn't right, and I want to apologize to you. When you apologize and it's without any reason or justification or any excuse, you are now showing that other person that you are truly sorry for what you did, and you're not trying to deflect or justify or make what you did that was wrong possibly right. Now, even though you may feel that what you did wasn't wrong or what you did had a reason to it, the person that you're apologizing to, if they're upset with you, they're not going to listen to your reasons until they feel that you truly understand them and that you are remorseful and sorry for what it is that you did. Why it's so important to be authentic and real when you apologize is the other person that you're saying sorry to is going to feel your vibration. They're going to feel whether or not you're sincere in your apology. And that's why the apology process begins before you even sit down to speak to this person. And by that I mean, if you take a look at the situation that's offended or upset your friend, and you ask yourself, what can I take ownership of in this situation? What is it that I did that upset this person? And if I was this person and I did this to me, how would I take that? When you can put yourself in the other person's shoes, and you can understand how your actions or words or whatever it is that you did upset them, you can then have compassion and understanding for why they're actually upset with you. And when you can connect to the reason why they're upset and what it is that you did, and you could feel that yourself, you are now being compassionate and understanding to the impact of your words or your actions. And it's so key that you understand the impact of what you did, because when you feel it, you're now connecting to that pain or that disappointment or that anger that you've created with this other person. And when you speak from that place of understanding that pain, sadness, or disappointment, the person that you're speaking to is going to understand that you get them. Now, many people give apologies because they think it's the thing to do. Like, it's, okay, I screwed up, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry. It goes beyond just saying I'm sorry. It really is understanding that you screwed up, you're taking ownership for the screw up, you're aware of the impact of what you did, and you truly care about making it right with that person. Now, sometimes making it right is just a really sincere, authentic apology. And it doesn't need to be a difficult, embarrassing, humiliating experience either. See, part of the apology process is also having forgiveness for yourself and understanding that we're gonna screw up. Sometimes emotions are gonna get heated, something's gonna trigger us, and we're gonna say something or do something that later we might regret. It happens to the best of us. So in understanding that I screwed up, I'm sorry to myself, and I'm gonna make it right, you're now being in integrity with yourself. You're now honoring your self-worth, and you're honoring your ability to be in integrity and clear it up. Because everything could be cleared up and resolved in communication. But it starts with you stepping forward and taking ownership and then communicating to the other person, not just that you apologize and you're sorry, but it's also very important to communicate that you understand the impact that your actions had on that other person. So when apologizing, it's important to also tell the person, I realize that what I said made you feel like that. What I did made you feel disrespected. What I said made you feel less worthy. Whatever it is you did or said, think about the impact that you've had on that person and share with them so that they know that you actually feel and understand them. And then also ask them, I want to know how I made you feel when I did that. I want to know the impact of my actions on you. Ask them to share exactly how it is that you made them feel with what you said or what you did. Because now you're giving the person who you're apologizing to an opportunity to open up and really share the impact of your words and actions. And this is an opportunity for you to really get clear and understand how you may have offended this person and the impact, like the real impact of what it is that you did. And even though that can be hard to hear, it's definitely a powerful learning opportunity. And when you give the other person the chance to really be seen and heard, and you are sympathetic and understanding of how they're feeling, you're now able to create a really strong communication connection where you're both speaking to each other from the heart, you're both being open and vulnerable, and you're learning about one another and strengthening your friendship through the process. Not saying sorry, avoiding a person, making excuses, or even blaming the other person, which is sometimes what we do when we don't want to admit that we're wrong. We want to blame the person for something that may not even be related to what was going on. Maybe they did something months ago that pissed you off, and well, they did that to me, so I'm going to do that, or whatever that may be. But the truth is, when we can't take ownership of what it is that we did, and we want to deflect or we want to use some other reason to justify it, we're just being cowards. We're not being a true friend. We're being out of integrity and somewhat kind of disrespectful when we're not apologizing for the thing that we did and we're trying to throw in other excuses to justify why we did what we did. Now, sometimes the person you've hurt or offended isn't ready to talk to you yet. Don't force an apology on someone. Give them the time and space that they need to cool down, to reflect, and let them know that when they're ready to speak, you'd like to apologize to them for what you've done. And if they're so pissed off at you, they don't want to even hear from you, you could always send them a voice note, send them a text message, write them a letter, and just let them know that I realize that what I did was wrong, and I know you're upset right now and you don't want to talk to me. When you are ready, I would love to have the opportunity to apologize to you and hear what it is that I've done to you and how it's impacted you. Because sometimes the people that we upset, we're not even aware of what we did to piss them off. Often between men and women, guys are totally oblivious to what we do to upset our partners or the females in our life. It's just a different way of communicating. And rather than say, oh, they're crazy, I don't understand them, I'm not a mind reader, understand that there's something that happened that you're not aware of. I'm speaking to all the guys out there, pay attention. There's something you've done that's been received as being offensive or disrespectful or has disappointed this other person, and you may not even be aware of it. Know that there's something missing in the communication that you've yet to discover, and being defensive about it, getting angry about it, trying to blame it or justify it is not going to make the situation better. And I'm not saying to take ownership and accept blame for something that you definitely didn't do, but what you can take ownership is, I've upset you, I'm not 100% sure what I did to piss you off, and when you're ready to speak, I would love to hear your thoughts and feelings. And you could leave it at that. At least then you are stepping in to the apology, you are opening the lines of communication, and you're letting the other person know that you're receptive and you're willing to hear them and apologize for what it is that you've done. Now, during times like this, where so many people are polarized and there's a lot of arguments, a lot of conflict, a lot of opposing opinions, there's a lot of friction happening these days. And I'm seeing best friends, family members, partners get into arguments and really stress and deteriorate their relationship. And our egos, our fears, our insecurities can act up at times and have us say things that we don't mean, have us say things that we regret. And then our ego doesn't want to give in and allow us to apologize. And I want to remind you all that life is short. Way too short to hold grudges, way too short for resentment. If there's someone in your life that you know you've wronged in some way, a few simple words, I'm really sorry, I want to apologize, can change that dynamic, can begin the healing process of that relationship. So if there's someone out there that you love, that you care for, that you respect, that you know you owe an apology to, then don't let any more time go by. Have the courage, be brave, take ownership, and just let them know, I screwed up and I care about you and I'm sorry and I want to make things better. That is the beginning of the healing process. And you may be surprised that you and that friend, that partner, that lover, that sibling, whoever it is, you may find that you and that person elevate your connection, your friendship, your relationship to the next level. Guilt and shame are at the lowest end of the vibrational scale. If you are in that low vibration because you're feeling those emotions, you have the power to let that all go with a few simple words. So if there's someone you want to clean up with, if there's someone you need to say sorry to, don't let it go on any longer. All right? I hope this video provided you with some helpful tips, some information that allow you to apologize to someone that you really care about. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe. And if there's somebody you know who you think could benefit from learning how to apologize, then please tag them in this video and share it with them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some value from it, and I will see you in the next one.